self-improvement will ruin your life, and I've come to accept that that is merely a part of this whole thing. Now, I know, an amazing abrupt start to a video, but I thought I'd keep you interested. Just do a bit of semi-clickbait. Actually, no, it's not even clickbait, because the thing is, it will ruin your life. It genuinely will. But you've got to see it as a positive. I mean, you're going to lose people. You're going to lose the ones who you thought were closest to you. Because when enough progress from self-improvement is made, you'll no longer be compatible with who you called your friends. You will outgrow those who you thought were closest. A trap that I fell into for maybe a week and a half, not that long ago actually, I started to become really arrogant in myself. I mean, I don't blame myself, because before I started this whole thing, I was completely at the bottom of the social hierarchy. When I say completely, I wasn't a freak, but I just didn't socialise with anyone outside of that little friend group. And, getting in the gym and all that shit, that is actually just, I mean, it's completely expanded my circle. I mean, I'm literally becoming friends with like a bunch of the popular guys, a bunch of the cool kids. I should categorize them, but you know, cool kids don't necessarily mean the mean kid, the jocks, the idiots. Because when you actually get to know people, you know, you find out that they're actually nice people. It's just they have to put on a bit of a show. To be honest, I mean, the funny guy. I mean, yeah, the funny guy's funny, but obviously he's still a person. You can probably become friends with the funny guy. Anyway, the beauty of self improvement is that there's always something you can do to eliminate a bad habit that you have. I mean, for example, the bad habit that I'm talking about now was just me being overly arrogant in myself. And the way that I had to combat that was through reading a very, very great book. It was an amazing book by Dale Carnegie. It's essentially just, if you watch like any self improvement YouTuber, they'll talk about this book. It's like the number one social guide. It's called How to Win Friends and Influence People. And yeah, just read through that. It tells you how to better get along with people, how to make people agree with you, and how to handle conflict better. Just all the social shit. It's all that. It's just ignore when I go wrong. All right. Sometimes I don't fucking talk right. So yeah. So it's essentially the social guide to anybody. Anybody can read it, and anyone can improve in at least one way. Before you got on self improvement, do you think that your life was easier? Two answers are possible, yes or no. If you said no, I'd assume it's because you didn't have to think about doing all these different things all the time. Yeah, fair enough. But what things were you thinking about the whole time before? I mean, I jotted down all the things that I was doing, like before I, well, not, yeah, but actually, yeah, before I got on self improvement. And they're most likely the things that you were doing or you are still doing. So the first one is masturbating. You know, a porn addiction. I was crazily addicted to porn. The best thing you can do is get away from that shit as soon as possible. Next one is scrolling on social media. It is really addictive, honestly. It really is. I mean, it's just, you go on one video, you know, like you go on a reel and you think, oh, that one wasn't very good, let's go to the next one. Then you go to the next one, the next one, the next one, the next one. And you're just there for like 20 minutes. You don't even realise. And then you get really angry at yourself because you wasted 20 minutes of your day. Next one is eating shit food. Like, oh, fucking crisps, mate. Oh, you know, crisps, you'll think to yourself, they don't do any harm. They're just fucking potatoes. Mate, you don't understand what is in crisps. They're so unhealthy. And fucking chocolate bars, bro, or fucking fudge, or caramel, or sweets, bro. Like, just listen to your fucking dentist, bro. Your dentist is actually looking out for you. I'm just really angry that I didn't for practically the whole of my life. I never listened to my dentist. I just thought, the fuck does she know? Little do I know, she's been in fucking school for like 8 years learning this shit. You know. The next one is smoking weed every now and then. And I may think every now and then is fine, but you shouldn't take something that makes you happy when you're not meant to be happy. And in regards to the people who, there are some people that just do it every day. Some people who are actually addicted, because people say you can't get addicted to weed. You can. Yeah, you can. Now, I didn't do it very often at all. But when I did do it, I was just neurotically thinking, when's the next time I got to do it? Because, you know, it makes you feel so good. You feel amazing. But you feel amazing when you shouldn't be feeling amazing. And then your brain completely fucks itself over. The next bad habit you may have been doing, which I was every now and then, was vaping. You know, I didn't ever own a vape because I'd like to live until 40 at least. But, you know, whenever some of my so-called friends at the time had a vape and like offered me one, yeah, of course I would, because I thought, like, as corny as it sounds, I honestly thought that I'd look cool while vaping. And I think that's the reason. That's one of the reasons why people do it. The other reason is just to fit in, I guess, because everyone fucking does it now. Let's surprise them by reaching 40 years old. I hope to see all of you on your 40th birthdays, right? If I don't, I know you would have been fucking vaping. Okay, the next bad habit is being addicted to video games. Or just video games in general. Just playing them all is a bad thing. I mean, I think I've got either a point in one of my videos or just a whole video about why video games are terrible. And you can find that on one of my previous videos. The next thing you may be doing is being complacent and undisciplined. I mean, you know, you probably one day found like a random self-improvement video before you actually got on it and thought,
Oh yes, I am going to take a cold shower for 2 days.
yeah, and then like even after the first day you just say no because like you don't actually believe. You don't believe in yourself. I mean, discipline, you have to build discipline. And without discipline, you don't get anywhere. That's the hard part of all this. You have to build the discipline by constantly failing, constantly doing the actions and constantly failing and constantly doing the actions and constantly failing all over again. That is the only way of building discipline. You know, all these shitty things that you were doing before, or maybe you still do some of them. I mean, compared to the actions that you take to become better, it's just hugely, hugely greater. The things that you start doing and the effects that they have on you. Okay, so I've got a ginormous fucking list here about, you know, the good things that you do and the good things that come with self-improvement. That's if you actually commit yourself to it. You know, you watch self-improvement YouTubers and you see all these amazing things that you're doing, and then you think to yourself, I want to be like that. But then if you, the way to do that is to do these things. You can't just do one thing. You have to do everything. The number 5 has no significance. That was just in your face. All right. The first thing that I did, the first major step, is trying your absolute hardest to abstain from porn. Now, I actually had a very, very weird tactic that I still have now, which has gotten me to the point where I don't even do it anymore because I do this. I trick my mind into thinking something that's really, really outlandish. I essentially trick my mind into thinking that you never know. In a few days, someone might want to sleep with you. And if your, sperm tank is empty, then, it's not going to be good, is it? It's just going to be, there's not going to be much there. So, as silly as that sounds, I mean, yeah, I'm going to get made fun of that for saying that, but genuinely, trust me on that. You tell yourself that enough times, it will start to be in your subconscious, and when you finally go to, crank the hog, you'll think, nah, is it worth it? Something could happen. Exactly. That is the way that I started to abstain from it. The next thing is, you're in the gym and you're building your dream body. I mean, before I got on self-improvement, like I was always really, really self-conscious about my body because I was always a really, really skinny kid. I was actually skinny fat for a while. I also had this thing called gynecomastia. I think it's something like either 40 or 60% of teenage boys get. It's where their hormones are so fucked up that you start to get man titties. Sometimes without even being fat, breast tissue starts to grow on a man because your hormones are so just fucking out of whack. But get into the gym, eat healthy, get better sleep, increase your testosterone, and it won't go away instantly, obviously. Nothing ever does. It will definitely combat it for sure. I mean, hold on, let's check. Yeah, I still have some of the tissue. I still have some of the breast tissue there from when I was like 12, 13 years old. But because I'm now in the gym, getting stronger, building more muscle. I'm actually starting a bulk at the moment, so maybe a bit more fat as well. But, do that for long enough, it will certainly overpower the gynecomastia. And it will become unnoticeable if you have enough muscle there. Like you're building your dream body, you're finally becoming, looks-wise, the person that you've always wanted to be. I mean, being a skinny kid, that's the dream is to have a really muscly body, or to look like a footballer, or to look like, I don't know, Arnold Schwarzenegger. I mean, do not cancel me for saying his fucking name. The next thing that you'll find yourself doing at some point, if you haven't already, is journaling. I don't physically journal. I sometimes journal on my phone or just in my head which in your head ain't that good because you never fucking remember anything. But every day, just journal for 5-10 minutes. Anything that comes into your mind, over time you will start to understand yourself so much better. I mean, if people say they don't understand themselves, then fucking journal. Trust me. I'm playing with a pen at the moment, that's why there's all this fucking clattering. One of the best things that I've ever done is probably meditating. And you see like all these self-improvement YouTubers saying all that shit, and then you may think to yourself, nah, they're just jumping on a trend. They're not. It's because they've actually done the action, and then they've realised this shit is magical. Okay? I mean, you become so much more aware. You can finally think without having clouding thoughts all the time. How amazing would that be? I've got so many videos talking about aspects of meditation and all that shit, you know. Like, you become more sociable, you get more focused on work and not girls, you keep yourself disciplined, you kill complacency, and you start doing the hard work, especially when you don't feel like it. That's meditation. Builds discipline. Because it is hard to do 10 minutes at the start. I just got lucky in the fact that I did the whole 10 minutes the first time, but many people don't. I mean, I didn't after the second or third, because you do get lazy. You do find yourself becoming a bit lazy every now and then. Which is never good, is it, though? Next best thing to do is quitting, or, greatly reducing how often and how much you play video games. Think to yourself, video games, they are addictive, and time does fly by. You ever have a whole weekend to yourself, no plans, no nothing, you stay at home, you play video games all day? And I used to wonder to myself, why do the weekends go by so quickly? I hate it so much. Then I realised that it's because I'm just doing one repetitive thing over and over again, and my brain's just clouding, my brain is just switching off, and I'm not realising how much time's passing by. It's also the same with social media, in a sense. I mean, I only watch self-improvement YouTubers now. Obviously, on my recommended, I still get the fucking odd, silly fucking video to keep you hooked and keep you addicted, but I'm starting to become a creator more than a consumer. And another thing that you start to do is, instead of vaping or smoking weed all the time, you actually get to breathe air. Yeah, that was from Andrew Tate. Yeah, exactly. Breathing air. You finally feel it in your lungs. Just a weird thing that I used to do was like hold my breath for like 2 minutes, like test out, not 2 minutes, but felt like an hour, just seeing how long I can hold my breath for. And then after that, I'd go outside and take the biggest breath in. And it felt beautiful. The air around us is so delicate, it's so precious, but it feels so amazing to finally feel your lungs filled with air and not complete bullshit chemicals. I mean, it's just, take all of these things that I've told you to quit, and the things that I've said that will happen and you will start doing after you get in self-improvement. Please just take the message and apply it to yourself. Self-improvement will ruin your life, and that's okay.